Hey, how you guys doing today? It's Mike. Well, today I want to talk to you about just all kinds of stuff that's been happening in my life. Um, as you all know, I did have a down period of my life before I found God and He saved me. And, even after He saved me, I still had stuff I had to work through. Um, I had all different kinds of things that were thrown at me to see if I would follow through on my promises that I made to him, which were to do anything he asked me to do and to follow his rules and to just be a good person. And it's just amazing to me how things have progressed. Nothing in my life has happened by coincidence. Everything in my life has happened on purpose. I have met the right people at the right times. I have joined Bible studies, multiple Bible studies. I have uh, started going to Celebrate Recovery meetings in two different locations. I've started going back to church, which I've been doing for months now. Um, I've been praying every single day, in the morning and at night. I've been paying attention. I've been keeping my eyes open. I've been keeping my ears open. I've been using my thinking skills, and I've been just open to receiving whatever direction and guidance and wisdom that God is going to pass on to me. And I mean, I can't even tell you the amount of things that have happened. That they happen every day. They happen every single day that are just positive and wonderful in my life. And, I see signs that I have abundance coming, and I've been through a lot, and I've been through all the tests, and all the tests are done, and all this stuff. I keep seeing all that through, Facebook Reels and all kinds of other different things that I see, messages, and just stuff all over the place. And so I get the feeling that, I've made progress and good things are starting to happen. And business is starting to pick up for me. I'm starting to get more activity. I'm starting to get more listings. Um, all of my confidence came back like overnight, and that was in the beginning. All that came back. Um, my drive, my passion, my fire, my tenacity. Just willpower, just everything, just automatically came back. Like literally snapping my fingers. It was like I was like snapped out of a trance that I was in. Um, Probably by the devil, but I was just snapped out of this like trance of just this like this, just this humming along in life trance. And I mean, like, just to give you an idea of the type of stuff that happens when you're not even expecting things to happen. So I have an open house this weekend, and I'm like, do I really want to do one? Because I just did an open house at the same property the weekend before, and it was also kind of starting to rain out a little bit. So usually you don't get a good turnout at an open house when it starts raining outside as much. You don't get as many people to come out. So I'm already thinking, it might be a crappy day or whatever. But I was like, nope, I committed to do an open house. I'm going to go in, I'm going to get my balloons. I'm going to do a video, which was actually one of the better videos that I've done, if you haven't watched it, of, God comes first, or put God first, or something like that. I can't remember exactly what I put the title of. But that's basically about how, you know, you need to try God first before, you hire. I started talking about how people hire different coaches. You have, like in sports, you have sports coaches, or you have specialist coaches. In business, you have business coaches. In your own personal development or your life, sometimes people have life coaches, and you pay these people astronomical amounts of money so they can micromanage you and tell you this is what you need to do, this is what you need to tweak, this is what you need to do, when you really don't need to do that. Because if you would just open your mind up and you would just pray to God, He's available to you 24/7 and He's free. And it just doesn't make sense why you would waste all your money on all these other places and things and people that, quite honestly, God created them too. So He knows everything that they know, and then more than that. So why would you not? So, anyway, I go to my open house this weekend, and like I said, nothing is a coincidence. So I'm in real estate, and my job as a real estate agent is to get as much business as I can to make more money that I can. So it's not rocket science. Is the more houses that I get to put on the market, the more houses that sell, the more commissions that I make, the easier my life gets, and the more less stress I have at home with affording schools and everything else that I have to figure out a way to do. So how do you get more business? Well, that's the $1 million question in real estate. That's what everybody wants to know. How do you get more business? Well, you pray. You pray. It's funny because there was a guy that I used to look up to in the business, and he used to say, if you don't have a plan of attack and you don't have, all your bullet points written down, and you don't practice your scripts, and you don't, do this, and you don't do that, and you don't do follow up, and you don't do all this crazy stuff, right? Then the only thing you're doing is hoping and praying. But I'm here to tell you that I'm living proof that the hope and pray method ain't that bad. But you really gotta hope and pray. Like, you gotta own it. You can't just say, I'm just gonna pray because I want business, because that's not how it works. I can't just say, hey, God, give me business because I want business. No, 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 no. There's a lot of stuff you gotta do to earn that. See, God's not just giving out money to anybody. But anyway, back to my story. So there's this retirement community. Now, as a real estate agent, wouldn't you want to target a retirement community? You got all these old people that are moving in that got to do what? Every one of them's got to sell their life's biggest asset, their house. Wouldn't you want to be on that list? Wouldn't you want to be getting referrals from that place? Wouldn't you want to learn how that all works out? Well, I've been on. My wife actually used to work for this one particular place in our area before she retired, and I let her come home and be stay-at-home mom and raise the kids and take care of everything, so I can run around like a nut all day. And they have a sales office that focuses on these people when they come in, and then they have the house to sell, and they refer the business out to real estate agents. Well, I have been trying like for the life of me to get into this sales office, and there's one person in there who kind of controls everything. And they got a referral. You got to pay like a referral fee and all this stuff, but whatever. Who cares about that? If you're going to give me 20 listings a year or 40 listings a year or 50 listings a year, you know what? Hey, I'll pay whatever referral fee you want me to pay. We'll work something out. And we'll be going to lunch and we go to baseball games and everything else too. But anyway, I had a feeling that something was going on over there, because this one particular person was only referring like 3 or 4 agents all the business, and I'm like, why are they sending all this business? Like, what can I possibly do to get in over there? And I've gotten like 1 or 2 here or there, And I have my own clients. What happens is I'm on their preferred list. So if my own clients are moving in over there, well, then they're like, oh, okay, that's cool. You owe us a referral fee. I'm like, yeah, well, why am I paying all these referral fees to you when I'm the one bringing the people to you? You know what I mean? Um, but I don't still don't have a problem with it. Still never rose a stink about it. And a lot of agents want to be on their list. So how does God work? Well, who do you think comes to my open house yesterday? The first person in the door. Who do you think it was? The director of sales for this particular retirement community. Are you kidding me? And he knows me because I've sent him Christmas cards and I've followed up with him because I know who he is. And you got to be on his good side because he's the man that runs the show over there. But he comes into my open house to look for the house for possibly him and his wife. I get to meet his wife. They got the mother living with them, and she might be moving in with them too, and all this stuff. And we get to talking for like half an hour. But he's like, hey, what's up, Mike? How you doing? Things going good? You know, um, we're working with you. I'm sure we're doing lots of deals with you. I'm like, well, actually, you're not. I'm like, we could be doing a lot more. I said, but for some reason, I don't get referred a lot of business. But guess what God did yesterday for me? He gave me an opportunity of a lifetime to have one-on-one time with the director of sales at this retirement community. And I got to tell him everything I do to market homes, to sell homes, to work with people. And then he got to see me working with the other people coming through the open house and how I interact with people and how I talk to people and how I market things. He got to witness firsthand. And then I find out that, and I knew this anyway because my wife actually went to her retirement party. One of the people in the office retired and is not working there anymore, and now she moved to Florida or something like that. And they got a new girl that came in from another part of town or something, and she knows the program, but she doesn't know the resources over this way. So I said, man, here's a whole bunch of cards. All you got to do when you go into work on Monday is just give her a couple of my cards and say, hey, call Mike. He's the man. He'll take you out to lunch. He'll tell you all about the agents out this way and, to try to get you on board and who to work with, and he'll help you out. And, he'll be able to help you with your clients that you get in the door. And, you'll be hitting the pavement ground, from day one. You already got most important piece, which is the agent that you need to help sell all your houses for you. I mean, like, who gave me that? Who gave me that? I've been praying for business. I've been hoping and praying for business. Yep, the hope and pray method. And what happened? The director of frickin' sales comes in to my open house and spends a half hour with me. Now, does it stop there? Of course it does not. He'll be getting a nice handwritten thank you card with a bunch more magnets and business cards in it so he doesn't forget me. I'll be emailing one of the other reps in the office that hasn't been sending me business saying, your boss thought it was a good idea that we go to lunch. So hopefully she'll take me up on that and we'll go to lunch and maybe be able to get some more business that way too. But the potential there, income-wise, just to put it in perspective for people who don't understand the gravity of the income that we could be talking about here, say it was 10,000 a listing is what I would make. 10 listings and that's $100,000. 50 listings and that's $500,000. That could have been a $500,000 30-minute meeting yesterday. To put it in perspective. And that's what God did for me. So I guess we'll sit back. And I guess we'll enjoy the show. And I guess we'll see what happens with the real estate market. We'll find out. Do I get the listings? Do I not get the listings? Don't know. But my thinking is, if God's going to bring them into my house, He's going to hook me up. He'll make it happen. He will. It's going to happen. I know it. But that, that took, to put it in perspective, all the craziness started happening around April, early April. So it's April, May, June, July, August. So 5 months of work. 5 months of work, of blood, sweat, and tears, of going through God's tests, going through His little trials and tribulations. See, He won't tempt you, but He will test you. He will see what type of person you are. Do you have a pure heart? Are you like me? Do you look for the good in everyone? Sometimes too much. Sometimes give everybody the benefit of the doubt, even when they don't deserve it. Too many times. Or do you not pass the test? There's a lot of stuff you got to go through. There's a lot of praying you got to do. There's a lot of getting on your knees time. There's a lot of meditation. There's a lot of reflection. It's not just about being saved. But it works if you stick with it. And if you stick with Him. And if you allow Him to work in your life. He's got it all up. It's like a big board. He's like, the next step's going to be here. Then the next step's going to be here. Then the next step's going to be here. He already knows what all my steps are. He already knows what everything is that I'm going to go through. It's all planned out. He already knows the people I'm going to run into, the coffees I'm going to have with people, that just literally friend me on Facebook a week ago and they're like, hey, we got to have coffee. People just coming out of nowhere. Why? Because God's putting them there. They're starting to see what I'm about. They're about that too. And I'm starting to get into a new period of my life where I need to be around people who are like me. People who want to do good. People who want to be like Jesus. Because not everybody does. Most people just live their life and listen to the coach that they paid thousands of dollars to. Sell them their own program because that's the way the coach makes money. And they think if I just take the blue pill, then I'll be good. Everything will work out. I'll just do what everybody else does. Do the same exact thing everybody else does. That's not it. You got to be different. I'd love to see everybody be like the way I am. And be like this and love God. And live for God. Live for Jesus. And be connected. And wake up. Because your time on life is short. You don't get a lot of time here. It's very short. But this is your audition. This is your audition for the big decision. You know, they got all these game shows out there. It's like the big decision. You got all these judges up there pressing their buttons and stuff. One day you're going to play that game, only it's going to be where are you going? Are you going to go to heaven or are you going to go to hell? And it's all going to depend on what you did while you were here, while you were alive. So don't wait. It's too great a feeling. You know, is there some work involved in changing yourself and changing your soul and changing your personality? Yeah. But you know, not only do I get cool shit like that to happen where I get the director of sales to walk into my open house, but I get other stuff too. And it's like, are you really paying attention? Like one of the guys that came into the open house, he was a neighbor. Well, he noticed my necklace. And he said, what's that necklace all about? And we got to talking about Jesus and we got to talking about God. And he told me about 2 books that I should read, that I should talk to, or that I should read and I should process. And I don't have them in front of me right now because I already ordered them on Amazon, but it's on my phone somewhere, but I got the video on right now. But I ordered them. Because you know why that guy was at the open house? He was sent to the open house by God to have that conversation with me, to literally take my phone out of my hands and text those books to myself, because that's what I do. It's actually pretty important for you guys to know. It's a good tip when you have like a to-do list or whatever. Instead of a to-do list, I just take my phone out and text myself. I text my own phone number. That way it's kind of like a running list of everything I have. But I pulled out my phone, I pulled up my phone number, and I said, what are the books? And he goes, no, just give me your phone. It'll be easier if I type it. And so he typed it. He typed me the books. And now, did I have to buy them? No. But he was an older guy in his 70s who seemed like he had life figured out, who seemed like he was a follower of Christ, who seemed like he believed like I did. And if I got an old guy telling me buy these books because it's going to help me in my life, I'm going to buy them. And it was barely $20 because they were both on sale. But they're probably really important books. See what I'm saying? So it's not just the director of sales, it's the books too. It's little things like that that you got to pay attention to happen in your life. When you're saved and you believe in God and you live your life like Jesus. That's what happens. Incredible things happen. And it's not just about getting business. It's not just about making money. That's cool. I like that. But to me, it's about living a life that is free of stress, that is free of depression, that is free of anxiety, that is free of anything negative feeling wise. Just feel great. I feel great all the time. Now I am fasting, so sometimes I'm really hungry. But other than that, and when I get really hungry and I'm fasting, I just pray. And I don't eat. And I never need to. Then I'll go grab a coffee or I'll grab a water. And I'll do that. It's choices, you know? And I always said that. I always said life was about choices. Maybe that's another podcast, is choices. But what choice are you gonna make? You gonna keep doing it the way everybody else is doing it? Keep doing it the old way? All you real estate agents out there watching this? Or are you gonna say, I'm gonna try this God thing? Because maybe, just maybe, he'll give you ideas and he'll allow you to step outside your comfort zone. 5 months ago, I wasn't doing videos like this. 5 months ago, I didn't have a selfie stick. 5 months ago, I didn't have any of this stuff that I have right now. I wasn't able to do any of it. And now I have the confidence. Now I'm like, I don't care. I literally don't care what people think of me, because I know how God thinks of me, and I'm doing his work by getting the word out on the street of his name and his glory and what he's done for me in my life. And that's what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to tell my story, one story at a time, and just keep telling it. Now, my big story, that's a big story. That's probably going to be like, visiting places and inspiring people in big places with stages and everything, where I tell that story, charging some dollars for those tickets. Because that whole story that I've been through, most people wouldn't have made it through it. But the only way I did is because of him. So, anyway, that's enough for today. But you can see that there are no coincidences in life, and that everything happens for a reason. God has a plan for every one of us, whether we want to admit it or not. And to be honest with you, even if you're not praying for him, he's still doing your plan. The difference is, if you talk to him, you pray to him, and you love him back, maybe you'll get to have some say into how your plan goes, instead of not knowing where you're going. Because all you out there who don't believe, to think I got it figured out, and I'm making all the money, and I'm making millions of dollars, and nobody can tell me what to do. I was there, buddy. It can all be gone. Don't take long. He can do whatever he wants to do. Things can happen. You can get it right back real quick, too. But you gotta know how to play your cards right. So, trust me or not, it's up to you. But that's my story. I'm sticking to it. So anyway, thanks for taking the time to watch this video. God bless everybody, and have a great rest of your Monday to start your work week. See ya.